good evening, or good afternoon, whichever you choose to use at this time. It's 3 o'clock, and welcome here to the Quintessential Queens, right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We're on our iHeart radio station. This is a spot where you come to be celebrated, elevated, and sometimes vindicated, but always educated. You're always going to get an education here on the Quintessential Queens, and you're always going to get something here on intellectualradio.com. We got something here for everybody. Hello, Chicago. How are you? And hello, everybody else watching from all over the rest of the world, the nation, wherever you are. My name is Dee from Speaking with Dee. I'm one of the hosts of Quintessential Queens, and it is raining outside Chicago. It's raining today. I promise you, this was not the hairdo I had planned for you, but it's raining. And any of you with natural hair know rain is not our friend. It's not your friend. Any of you with relaxed and perm hair know rain is not your friend. Water is not our friend, y'all. Any of you that happen to have gone out to the shop Friday, Saturday, whipping your butter, as you say, today it ain't your friend, is it? Just spent that money and now look what's going on. Thank you all for joining me today. I got a juicy topic to talk about today. I always put questions and posts out on my Facebook page, which is Speaking with D, because I want to hear from you. And when I put this post out, man, the number of responses and comments I got, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how great it was and how opinionated and passionate everybody was about this particular topic, this particular thing I'm going to talk about, this particular thing I'm going to speak about. We're always speaking about relationships of all kind, relationships between our men and women, relationship between mom and dad, and relationships between how you work and raising children. So today we're going to piggyback on the topic of the relationships between men and women, and the relationship actually between women, how we interact with one another, and how our relationships either enhance who we are, or they might kind of be to our unfortunate detriment, if you let it be that way, or to unfortunate feelings, how you might feel about yourself, and not in a good way. I'm talking about things that aren't in a good way. So the post that I put up this week was, if your partner, and I was talking to women, which meaning the partner is males, if your partner is texting, messaging, calling another woman, where does that leave you at? If this is your partner, you're in this supposed committed relationship. If you find out that he's doing this, texting another person, messaging another person, and actually my post, it was pretty long. The post had a lot to say. The post said that the other woman is not your enemy. The other woman is not the person you're supposed to be attacking. It's the irresponsible male you should be having your conversations with. And in my post is two beautiful women. It's two beautiful ladies in beautiful dresses. They're kind of wrestling with each other. They're grabbing each other's arms, and you can tell by the expression on their faces that they're not dancing happily, and they're not having good conversation. That's not what's going on. Evidently, they're in the midst of finding out we dating the same man, but we didn't know we was dating the same man. So somebody upset, or everybody upset. Who's upset about it, and what do you do about it? That post in particular was talking about when you as a committed woman want to attack the lady you find out your man is seeing, or your husband, or whatever term you want to use. When you want to attack the person that your man is seeing, boy, did my page blow up with comments. It blew up with comments. If you all have any comments today, please put them in the chat. I'm live here on Facebook, or you can always call in at 708-223-8953. I'll give you the number again, 708 223-8953 if you would like to call in. But I'm also here live. You can put your comments, your questions right here in the chat. And I want to read some of the responses I got from women of different ages. And I think this is such a wonderful platform to have because you can get that advice from people who've been there, people who going through it, people from different ages, different cultures, and different who have a different way of dealing with things. That's what these platforms are for us to observe and learn, or watch and learn, as my grandbaby was telling me the other day, and she's just 3. Watch and learn, Nana. Watch and learn. You listen to what's going on here. So in the chat, I had quite many responses from women. It would have been nice to get some from men too, but I didn't. It was mostly from women. So however you may feel about this issue, like, oh, that's messy. This some mess you talking about today, D. It's some mess that a whole lot of people be in. Let me tell you right now. It's some mess that a whole lot of people find themselves caught up with, and you'll be surprised what the results are. You would be surprised what ends up happening from something like this, from something of this nature. A lot of things can come out of that. Relationships fall apart over it, friendships fall apart over it, injuries, because people get to fighting y'all over stuff like this. And I ain't talking about just in high school. At work. I know some women that were 30, 40 years old about to go at it over the fact they found out they were seeing the same guy. And everybody worked together. To me, how crazy is that? How you gonna date 2 people working at the same place, same floor, same everything, and you ain't told nobody nothing? Nobody knows anything. Everybody finds out happenstance. So now it's gossip, and we live in a real live Peyton Place and General Hospital up in here, because it's the gossip, it's the rumors, it's the tension. And that tension, if it's at work, it interferes with your work. And any of you who've been through this or seen this, it interferes with work, it interferes with rapport, it interferes with your relationships. So what do you do about it? What is the best way to handle it? And maybe what's the not best way to handle it? So I'll share a comment that I did receive. And this viewer, she's in her 60s or 70s, and she said that she definitely would talk to the husband or her boyfriend. She would not even interact with the other female. She would talk to her husband, because the fact of the matter is, and this is from a wise woman, you cannot make anybody do anything they don't want to do. You cannot make this man not talk to this woman, or make him stay loyal or faithful to you, if that's not something he wants to do. What a big piece of advice, right? If that ain't something he want to do, you can't make him do it. Or can you? Can you make him do that? Is it something you can do to step in there? I did get a comment to the reverse of that, where the young lady said that she would talk to the woman. She would say something to the woman, because this is her man. And this lady got no business calling, talking, or bothering her man. Ooh, that's what I said. Oh yeah, okay, all right. That's I really believe that's the side that a lot of people take. Where we gonna take the side that I'm gonna step in here and do something about it. Well, here we go again. You're gonna attack the lady for what? For what reason? You're gonna go after her for what? For what reason? What do you hope to accomplish after going after the other woman? That's the question you should be asking yourself anytime you make a move. What do you hope to accomplish by going after this person? Since I was talking to women, I'm saying women, but even if it's the other way around, what do you hope to accomplish by stepping forward and doing what? Doing what? What you gonna do about it? I can tell you what's gonna be done about it, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Fights break out about it. A lot of throwing daggers with words is done about it. And even after some of those fights and the harsh words, that man and that woman still be together. They're still together. They haven't split one bit. And why is that? Probably because this is a performance that they endure often. This is something that they do all the time. Somebody cheats, the other one gonna jump funny or get froggy, as we like to say, with the other person. A fight breaks out, and they still together. What do you hope to accomplish with all of that nonsense going on? I just want to know what are your thoughts about that? What are your opinions about that? I'll tell you my thoughts and opinions about that from a different perspective, like in the middle. For me, I honestly believe it should be whoever you're in a relationship with, that's who you should be talking to. You shouldn't be talking to anybody else that has unfortunately found themselves in the middle of your relationship or found themselves in the middle of your mess and nonsense. You should be talking to the person you're in the relationship with. That's me in the middle. But if somebody decide that they want to come at me and talk crazy to me and what? Wait a minute, what? I feel like I need to come and get you because of the disrespect of your mouth. The disrespect. Just this is what Kamala Harris said right before one of her debates. It's the disrespect. Not only what you say, but how you say it and how disrespectfully you're saying it. That's the issue I have. The disrespect of your mouth make me want to use these hands. But I was just talking about that this morning. That really ain't the way to go. Do you know the kind of trouble you could get in using your hands? Let me break it down for you. It is the police, the law. Y'all know about those people? Do we know those folks? We know about that occupation. Did you know that it's against the law to just be jumping on people? Did you know that? Did you know they can show up, cuff you, and put you in jail? Did you know that? I don't know if y'all knew that because people fight so much and think it's okay. Did you know you could spend some time in the county? I just wanted to know if you were aware of those things. You can be right there in the county with some folks who done some things worse than you, getting upset and caught up in your feelings and not being able to control yourself. Now, I will tell you, I have said to myself a few times, I think I could deal with that. I could deal with that. Yeah, because I really want to lay hands on this person. I think I'll go to jail. Actually, no, I won't. Because if you ever talk to people who've been in jail, I don't think it's something I could deal with. That's all I want to say. It's not something I can handle. And here's the other thing that we find out that I don't think people think about. This is what you have to think about when you're making decisions. If you have an occupation where you have licenses, that stuff goes on your license. You can lose your license because you didn't control yourself. You can lose your ability to feed your family, to feed yourself, to take care of yourself, to buy you the wonderful, luxurious items that you love to buy. You can lose that ability because you were reactive and not proactive. You can lose that ability because you didn't control yourself. And in retrospect, while you sitting there behind bars eating those dry bologna sandwiches, that's what you'll be thinking about. Man, was it really worth it? Did I need to do this? You'll feel it's worth it, right? Because when you lash out like that, you're releasing some aggression and you think it's good. It feels fine. But always know there is a consequence to your behavior. There is a consequence to the way you act. There is a consequence to the way you behave. There is a consequence to the things you do. And if you don't sit back and think about it, you will find yourself in a world of trouble behind the eight ball, as my daddy used to say, not being able to climb out and get out. Can you imagine if you are an individual with a license? You work with his license. You go to get a job. They look up your license and boom, right there, assault, battery. This chick like to fight women who be talking to her man. It ain't gonna say that, but you get the point. That's what's gonna pop up. You will never get a job. You will never work. You might as well pick up a satchel and go somewhere else Think about those things. Those things are the things you have to be reminded of. At least that's, what people remind me of, because I don't have a temper, but I don't like being disrespected. And I don't like people talking crazy to me at all, not even a little bit. I don't even like people texting me crazy. Generally, I'm proactive about it. I look behind the behavior to see, look behind that, the insult, to see what the behavior is. Like, what's really going on? Why is this person acting like that? But if you catch me on the right day, finger wars it is. I'll be texting right back. How bad can these insults get? How bad can I get you back with what I'm typing back to you? And then, of course, all that back and forth leads to what? Some threats gonna come somewhere. Somebody threatening somebody up in there. You gonna get messed up. I'm gonna mess you up. Leave me alone. I done told you to quit. Oh, you bad on Facebook. You bad on Messenger. You tough when you texting. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. For what? For what? Really, honestly, for what? You're gonna meet outside for what? I'll go to another response that one of my viewers had given me. She's a married woman. She's in her 30s, and she said, honestly, you cannot have yourself stooping to that behavior, because if this man wants to be with someone else, he will be with someone else. And you will always find yourself fighting another woman, because he won't stop at that woman. There's always going to be another woman. That very good counsel. I thought that was very good counsel. If you are with someone that philandering is what they do, because that's what I call it, or if they just feel they have that right to be with who they want to be with, you will always be fighting. You will always be texting somebody something abhorrent that you got no business saying. It's not going to end at that one person. So you got that one fight out of the way that maybe you dodged the police. But how about the second fight? What about that? I've known people, and particularly because this thing happens to men too, but I've never witnessed men fighting at work about it. I promise you, I've only seen women do it. I've only seen women do it. I'm just giving you the benefit of my experience of what I've seen, and I'm not saying anything bad about my sisters. What I am saying is, think about what you do and think about why you do it. But I've known folks that they get into these fights, and then something terrible happens. Something bad, like somebody comes back with a weapon and they try to injure the other individual, or they do injure the other individual. They do harm someone over nothing, really. Over nothing, really. Or you get your posse together and y'all decide, we're gonna take care of this person. We're gonna handle this the way family handles this, La Familia. We get our people together because you need to learn not to mess with us. And I'm laughing because I feel like that. You need to know who to mess with and who not to mess with. But why would you round up troops to fight a woman that your boyfriend, husband, whatever you call them, very willingly decided to talk to? Did nobody put a gun to his head and say, look, you better talk to this woman or it's going to be some problems? No, he very willingly decided, I want to start a rapport with this person. I want to text this person. I want to go out with this person and want to do whatever else they want to do with this person. You either going to accept it or you're not. That's pretty much what it boils down to. That's what my mother tells me about everything, because I talk to her a lot about my relationship woes. She say, you either going to accept it or you're not. You either going to deal with it or you're not. And if you dealing with it, when you get tired of it, you'll leave. When you get tired of it, you will leave. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're right. When I get tired of it. When I get tired of it. But what about the part of me that want to meet you outside and smack you around a little bit because you too disrespectful? I really ask everybody to engage in looking at yourself. Everything that we've talked about on this show and on other shows, the bottom line is how you feel about yourself. Do you feel you're a worthy person? Do you feel you're a good person? Do you feel you have things to give, lend, and share with the world? Do you feel that you are of value to yourself before you're of value to anybody else? You got to feel like you're valuable to yourself. So, do you feel like that? So, if you're someone who might have some low self esteem and you don't feel that way, go work on that esteem. How you feel about you is not going to change if you start jumping on people. How you feel about you is not going to change every time you go through your man's phone, find a girl number and text, and they talking real sexy there, something you don't like. You decide to find a girl and you're going to jump on her. That's not going to change how you feel. That's not going to change your value. It's not going to change your worth. It's not going to change the bottom line of you, the introspection of you. It's not that, that's not going to change it. If anything, you're going to pile more problems on. You can go to jail. Like I said, I've seen people get arrested. You can get very injured. I have seen that. I have seen people harmed and in hospitals. And unfortunately, I'll say I'm aware of some people that, like I told you, folks came back with a weapon and they killed that person. Now that person is buried and in the ground over some nonsense, over stupid stuff. Life is worth so much more than that. And I tell you, if you realize life is worth so much more than that, if you realize that you yourself have so much more to give, you want to allow yourself to get caught up in any mess like that. You want to allow yourself to get caught up in being in a dangerous situation. And I can't lie, I have allowed myself to get caught up in going back and forth with people with text in other situations and in this particular situation. I have allowed that. I've done that. Gone, you catch me on the right day. Oh, well, we can go back and forth. My fingers are ready. Catch me on the right day. But what does it do for me? What does it do for the situation? I will tell you this, I am very happy that I have the support system that I have. I have a support system of a lot of wise men and women. I have the support system of friends and family that when I was going through this particular situation, even the people that like to fight, the people that I talk to, they like to fight. They love to fight. Just tell them, "Oh, I'll be there." They don't even got to know who fighting. They just want to be in it. They just want to be in it. They told me, just get yourself out that mess. You don't even need to be in that mess. I'm like, wait a minute. You the person that's ready to knuck if they buck. You the person that's ready to throw down any minute. Let's go. Put your gym shoes on, put your hair in the ponytail, get the Vaseline, let's go. That person told me, don't waste your time on anything like that. Don't get yourself caught up in anything like that. You got way too much to lose. Way too much to lose. The other person may not have that much to lose. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the focus is really on you and what you're going to do. So I'm like, that's very interesting. People who like to fight. So everybody that I talked to about this little situation that I found myself in said the same thing. Nobody told me, let's go on up there and meet these people and take them down. Nobody told me that. Where are all the folks that don't mind knocking a couple of people out? Where they at? I'm joking, of course. But I found that to be very interesting with my circle of support that people were saying, just take yourself out of that mess. It's mess. You don't want to be in mess. And if you don't respond, if you don't go back and forth, you won't have that issue. You won't have that problem. You can let that person wallow in their own self pity, wallow in their own woes, wallow in their own hurt issues, low self esteem, and need of healing. Let them deal with that on their own because what we can do, allow people to drag us down into an abyss of mud and mess and things we don't want to be a part of. You don't want to do that. That you take the time to think about what you're going to do. I talked to another friend of mine and she said the same thing. She was like, the world is shifting. Your world is shifting. There are greater things for you to do. Why would you ever allow yourself to be caught in the middle of some nonsense like that? And I have a great cousin. I have plenty of great cousins. My cousin Tilia, she was visiting me and she said, I just know you're not talking about going nowhere trying to jump on nobody. I was like, I'm not talking about that. I'm really not. But sometimes you need people to direct you, and you need people to maybe bring your mind to a thought your mind did not have, to bring you to a sense that you were losing, that you're not thinking about really. You're not thinking clearly when mess takes over. And it's nothing but mess. It's nothing but mess. Don't allow yourself to be so involved with any individual that if you find out that whatever their heart, their mind, their body, whatever it is, taking them in another direction or somewhere else, that you want to fight or attack the other person. For what? That again is what I want to ask you. For what? What are you going to gain out of that? What does it profit you to do something that crazy? It'll profit you jail time. It'll profit you to lose your license. It could profit you to lose a job. And far as I know, none of those things are profits. Profit, profit. That's the profit I'm talking about. What have you gained by being silly and aggressive and not thinking with the brain that the good Lord gave you? What have you gained? So again, I implore you, look inside yourself. Let's say that you are that person. Why are you doing those things? Why are you coming after the girl and not talking to the person you have your relationship with? Why? You have to look and see why that is. Is something unhealed within you that you feel you need to do that? Is your esteem that low that you feel you need to do that? Are you that hurt that you feel you need to do that? Are you that angry you feel you need to do that? If so, you got to find out why. Why are you that angry? Why are you that hurt? Why do you not value yourself enough to take a higher road, to go high, as Michelle Obama says? And I know I say all the time, they she says they go low, you go high, and I say you go low, I'm going to hell, you about to catch it. Honestly, they go low, you need to go high. You might be saving your own life doing that. You might be saving others' lives doing that. But you'll definitely be saving your livelihood, meaning you will be saving who you are, your core beliefs, your behavior, the person you want to present to the world. Is that the person you want to present to the world? Do you want to be that person that she get upset and angry all the time? I promise you, those people that if they find their significant other talking to other people or engaging in relationships with other people without divulging that to you, without being honest with you about it, those people who decide they want to go fight the other person, I promise you they fight people all the time. And it's not just the other person that their boyfriend or girlfriend is dating. That's how they handle life. That's how they handle situations. That is their coping mechanism, which is a very wrong and negative one. Because what a friend told me, you can't fight everybody. That is the honest to God truth. You can't fight everybody. You might think that's the way to handle it. You might think that's what you need to do. You can't fight everybody. You might find yourself under the submission of somebody way stronger than you, breaking your bones, injuring you, impacting your livelihood. Now you walking around here with black eyes and broke arms because you decided to go fight somebody. Some people might say that's just desserts. I definitely say that is a lesson learned. You learn your lesson when things like that happen. And then thank God that you're able to stand up and walk away and say, you know what, I did learn a lesson from behaving stupidly because it's stupid. I'm just going to say it. It's stupid. I learned a lesson from that. You can say you learned that lesson because there's plenty of people that can't. There's plenty of people that they're paralyzed because of silly things like that. Plenty of people that they can't work around, elderly or children, particular people, because they have those things attached to their names. Here's another thing, that this thing or fight or aggression that takes you about 10, 15 minutes to do will follow you around for a lifetime. It will be attached to your name for a lifetime. If you did any time over it, if you had to go to jail over it, if there's a charge, every time somebody runs your name, that charge pops up. The fact that you did time, the fact that there was an assault, a battery, whatever it is, that pops up. That 10, 15 minutes that you decided you were going to fight somebody follow you around for years and years and years, even years after you've matured, years after you've grown and learned that, I'm an adult. That's not the way I should behave. It will constantly be popping up in your future and in your life. Every time they run your name, you're going to get a job, assault and battery. Sorry, sir, we fill that position. Go to the next job. Had a great interview. They run your name. You know what? The job is not available to you anymore because that's what it is. It ain't available anymore to you. We're not hiring you for this position. Trying to get licenses. I know people that they've been in those situations when they were fighting. You have to fight and do a lot of hard work to get that stuff off your license. You have to fight and do a lot of hard work to get those things off your name. So now you're spending money to get lawyers to expunge things. If you um, unfortunately might have been in jail for something or fighting or anything like that. Now you got to hire people to take that stuff off your name. It costs money and it costs time. And this could be years later. And in your reflection, you can go back and look 10 years ago when I was 26 and I thought I was going to jump on this girl for talking to my man. Here I am 10 years later trying to clear up my name because of a bad decision. A bad decision. So what I want to tell you all about bad decisions, try to practice not making those. Try to practice good decision making. Practice it. We all have made some bad decisions. We all have made some mistakes, but you don't want to continually do that. You want to learn from the adversity on this side, make it through, and find some success on the other side. That's what you always want to do. Learn from the eras, adversity, trials that I have on this side, push my way through, make it through to the success on the other side. And you're not going to be successful jumping on women because your man is talking to them. Or as they like to say, she talking to my man and she calling my I don't think how she get your man number. That's the first question I'm gonna ask you. How did she get the number? How did that happen? Because he gave her the number. So why are you still upset with the girl? Why you want to go after this woman? Why do that? Okay, some of you say, well, I'm gonna do that. I'm going after him. Me and him about to get into it. Is we gonna be breaking dishes up in here tonight? That ain't the way either. You're going to run into the same problem. So you're going to fight him. One, I don't want to sound chauvinistic. You might not win. That's all I want to tell you. You might not win. I don't encourage fighting really, and I don't encourage that. But fighting a man, a woman fighting a man, I don't encourage that. That's not anything I encourage. Have a seat, take a breath, go get some juice or some spirits and think about what you're going to do before you do it. That again, police action, cops coming. You didn't call the cops. He didn't call the cops. Your neighbors called the cops because they tired of hearing y'all going to blows at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, waking them up and they got to go to work. More police involvement, more law involvement, more things that attach themselves to you. So think about what you want to do. You shouldn't go after the other person, girl, female, or whoever it is, and you don't attack the spouse or the boyfriend or girlfriend. You talk to them about it. But really the person you need to look at is yourself. Why are you in that? Why are you staying in that? Why are you allowing yourself to be mistreated like that? And it could be for many reasons. A lot of us are in different spaces in life. If it's a husband and you all have children together and you have a home together and you have money and collateral things together, Those things matter, not just the money, but the fact that you have a home together and you're raising children together. You might not be so quick to just throw all of that away. And I know a lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't just throw it away. Folks are always out here talking about how folks cheat, nobody want to give people a chance, and folks running away at the first sign of trouble. Mm-mm-mm. Let me tell you right now, people are staying. People are staying. Folks have stayed in marriages where someone was unfaithful because they decided they were going to work it out. Folks have stayed in relationships where people were unfaithful because they decided they were going to work it out. How did they get there? Evidently, you need to talk to each other about it. Stop involving people in your relationship turmoils. If there's a up and down going on in there, stop putting other people in the middle of it because it doesn't turn out well. That's how we end up with these situations where I went through your phone and I saw you've been talking to this young lady for a while here, and you're going out and meeting up and acting like you're dating each other, and you ain't told me nothing about it. What's going on with that? What's their first response? Why was you going through my phone? What they got to do with what I'm talking about? But that's why you go through my phone. You shouldn't have been going through my phone. No, you shouldn't have been cheating and lying. That's what shouldn't have been. Let's talk about that first. Yeah, we could talk about I shouldn't have been going through your phone, but how about where did the honesty go? Where did the fidelity go? Where in your head did you decide this was okay to do to me? See, then here we go back with the disrespect. This is a disrespectful act to me. A very disloyal act to me. But a lot of people stay, talk about it, and they keep the relationship going. A lot of people do that. A lot more people are staying in relationships and looking at the fact that nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and you need to look at what's going on in your relationship at that time that maybe caused the divide. And in no way am I saying if something goes wrong that being inconsiderate to your partner is okay. Hurting your partner, emotionally hurting, is okay. I'm not saying that that's okay. It's really not. It's really better to try to work things out before it gets to that point. But if you're a couple that it's gotten to that point, but you all decided to sit down and work it out and stay together, it would be nice to know how you did that. You could put that in the chat. How did you do that? How did you come out of this situation of infidelity and decide that you want to keep your relationship, you want to keep your marriage, you want to keep the bond and the family that you've created? How do you decide that that's what you're going to do, and what did you do to keep that marriage or relationship together? I would love to hear from you if you've been in that particular situation, and you stayed and it's working out, and what did you do? What I can say again, introspection is the answer. Self-care, all of this thing that we've been talking about lately about self-care, it really is, you got to look into you and find out who you are, how you value yourself, how you value your talents and what you have to give to the world. I promise you, if you value you and you value your talents and what you have to give to the world, you won't slip so easily. I'm not saying you won't fall. I'm not saying things may not happen, but you won't slip so easily because you're gripped, you're rooted, and you're grounded. It's like in the winter when you have the snow and the ice, you put on the right kind of shoes, thick soles with ridges, is gripped, right? Is grounded. You can walk across that tough terrain because you are prepared and equipped. Now, if you slip sliding out there in the wrong kind of shoes because you got the wrong type of equipment, slip sliding through your life, it's the same thing with life. You want to have the right type of ammunition. And I'm not talking about guns, I'm talking about your coping mechanisms, your talents, how you deal with people. First, mostly how you deal with yourself. If you don't want to be around you, I promise you, no nobody else want to be around you. If you can't stand to hang out with yourself for a while, nobody else is going to want to do it either. So you might find yourself alone and not with people, and then when people get with you for sure, they about to go talk to somebody else. That's the biggest error right there. That if you are if you are the person who you're not very kind, you're not very considerate, people are not going to hang around you. People are not going to stay with you. You will have a girlfriend or a boyfriend who leaves you. You will have a spouse or a mate who, they might start looking for those qualities in someone else. But that being so and that being said, you still have to find out who you are and take care of the person that you are. Get that introspection together. Find out what's going on with me that I'm even in a situation like this. And I'm not saying that that absolves the other person from their abhorrent behavior. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is the only person you can do something about and change is yourself. Of course, you can encourage others to change. You can do that. You can encourage a man to change if he wants to stay with you. You can encourage family members and friends to change if they want to be in your circle, but it's encouragement. It's definitely not you making them, because that's not going to happen. You can't make people change when they don't want to. You can't make people take on attributes that you think are it would be so great for you if you was so much more considerate of women. You can't make anybody do that. It would be so much great for you if you were more submissive to your man. You can't make anybody do that. You can talk to people, you can encourage people, and you can recommend with wisdom, right? Wisdom and knowledge. Don't be coming to me with your ratchet philosophy about life and people. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I see enough of that out here anyway. But honestly, it's more of us than it is of them. It's more of us who really want to be around people and who care about humanity. It's more of us. You can again encourage and recommend with wisdom and knowledge. I don't want to hear the ratchetness. I don't want to hear that. Go record yourself and listen to it yourself. Don't bring me that. Because who does that help? That ain't helping me. But if that's how you want to live your life like a ratchet person, please stay far away from me. I'm just telling you. Then go on down the street with that. That's all I'm saying. As far where we go with that. Try to keep it with wisdom and knowledge. Because at best, even those of us who care about humanity, even those of us who do value what we have to give to the world and value ourselves, we slip sometimes. We get upset too and might find ourselves wallowing in the mud with pigs. Yeah, that's the term I use. Oh, you want to roll around in the mud like pigs? Let's roll around in the mud like pigs. But the difference is, I am going to get up, clean myself off, go back where I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to be hanging around in slop. I'm not going to do that. And after I've been hanging around in slop, learning my lesson, what the heck am I doing in this slop acting like a pig? Why am I in here? I'm going to try my best not to do that again. I'm going to try my best not to not to discredit myself and have a lack of integrity for myself. That's where it starts at. I have integrity for myself. There is a way that I want you to see me when I'm walking through this world. There is a way that I want you to know how I want to help people when I'm walking through this world. But you won't see that if I'm covered in mud because I like hanging out in the slop with pigs. You won't see that. So I don't want to be that person and I don't want to do that stuff often. Not the thing I want to do, not what I want to be remembered for. So set boundaries for yourself. People are always saying, don't let other people cross your boundaries. I implore you, don't you cross your boundary. You don't cross that boundary. If you have set a boundary that you are not going to go after another female because you found out your boyfriend was talking to her, then don't cross that boundary. Don't do it. Even if she come at you, don't do it because you have set a boundary of integrity for yourself. I'm not going to cross this line. I'm not going to go there with you. I'm going to do some very simple circumventing you, backtracking, avoiding you. I'm not going to cross the boundary I set for me. If you don't cross the boundaries that you set for yourself, I promise you, you won't let other people cross it. But a lot of times we run into those issues because we cross that boundary. You set up a gate for yourself and you kick it down. Why you kick your gate down? You put that gate down for a reason, right? It's the same thing with your boundaries. You cross it. oh, then it's like a free for all. People are going to be running back and forth across that boundary all the time because you crossed it. Set boundaries of integrity for yourself, whatever that may be. Set it for yourself. You don't cross it. Don't allow other people to cross that boundary. But most importantly, you support that foundation you've created for you. You support the behavior you want for you. And I'm telling you this as a person who's been through these things that I've talked about. And I didn't always choose this decision, but I did choose it somewhere down the line where things can get way out of hand with nonsense and mess. Things can get way out of hand. You got people coming up to the job, coming to your house, folks trying to jump on people, folks bringing weapons, craziness that don't need to happen over what? Something very minute. I'm going to say something to all you men and women. If you have a significant other that is inconsiderate like that, let me tell you something. Go get another one. You can just go get another one. You ain't got to jump on nobody. You ain't got to fight nobody. Go get another one. Go get two. Go get three. You can go do that. Just don't be lying to people about it. Yeah, I date. Yeah, I'm dating. I'm dating. I'm just letting you know I'm dating. That's what you do. The problem comes when you start lying. You don't have to bring yourself to the pits of something dire that you will not be able to shake that easily, which is getting beat up, going to jail, having stuff on your name and your license that follows you for a lifetime, for years, because of some girl you liked and she dating another guy and you jumped on the guy, now you in jail and that stuff on your record for forever. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Make better decisions. And here's one of the other better decisions: close your mouth, be quiet. Be quiet. You don't always have to respond. You don't always have to say anything nasty and disrespectful. The quiet is really for you to think about what you should do versus what you want to do. What's best for you versus what you want to do. I promise you, if you practice that pause, take a pause, take a minute and think about it. What you should do and what's best for you will align. You'll be thinking the best thing for me to do is, and that'll be exactly what you do, and it'll be to your benefit. It won't be I really want to go down now. Show this chick who she dealing with, knock her head off. It won't be that. It'll be, I do feel kind of upset about it, but I got better things to do. I'm not going to let this take me down. I'm not going to let this take me over. What people don't tell you about constantly fighting is that it's hard to stop doing that. When you have created these violent behaviors for yourself or these very badly therapeutic behaviors for yourself, it's hard to break that habit. It becomes habit forming. It becomes your habit that you get upset and start yelling at everybody. It becomes your habit that you lash out when people say something to you that you don't like. It becomes your habit to start getting physical and fighting people. So that's anybody, friend, family, anybody. You're upset all the time and you're lashing out physically all the time. This is a problem. Problem. That's a problem. So try to keep yourself from being there because it's hard to break those habits. It's hard to do the work to find another way to behave and react. Try not to go there at all. Try not to be that person. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm a person that I used to lash out at people. Not a lot, but like if you upset me, I figure it's my duty to let you know you done made me mad. That's what I'm supposed to do. I have to check you. But I don't. I really don't always have to check people. It's not my duty to let you know you done pissed me off because that's where I be, man. I be on like 120. I have learned don't go to 120. Don't go to 10. Don't get upset like that. Or I feel myself getting there. I'm going to remove myself and kind of bring it down. And I have to do that often because every time I think about it, I'm getting upset again. Don't think about it. Remove yourself from it. Get yourself some business. I promise you, if you are busy doing things in the world that take care of you and that take care of the world and that are edifying you, you will not have time to even give to such nonsense. People who have all that time on their hands, they got plenty of idle time to entertain the devil, plenty of idle time to entertain foolishness. Do not allow people to grab you and drag you into that mess. Because here's another thing, they'll get themselves out of it and you'll still be up in there in it. Now, what you going to do? They out the mess, you still in it, trying to fight your way out. They found their way out, dragged you in it, you still caught up in the garbage. Set a boundary of integrity for yourself. Don't cross it. Look into yourself, some introspection, give yourself some care, and be more valuable to yourself because it enables you to be valuable to others, friends, your children, your family, your parents, anyone who needs you. And I promise you, it's people out there that need you. You might feel like they don't, but it's people out there who need you. Folks out there that count on you, that they're happy to see you, that it makes their day when they talk to you, and that you're the person they come to when they want to vent or when they want some good counsel or advice. You mean something to people. Please mean something to yourself and be good to each other, right? It ain't that hard. People try to make it hard. And it's easy to be good to folks who are good to you. What's not easy is being able to say, you know what, I can see there's something going on with you, the person, the people who are always trying to get you. I'm gonna step out the way and I'm gonna still hope for best things for you because there's some things you got to work on there. That wasn't always me. You bothering me, I hope something bad happened to you. That was me. I hope some bad stuff happened to you because you messing with me. What if that's a family member? What if the family member's acting like that? You don't want to wish bad things on your family. You don't want to wish bad things on your friends, but it's those things that make you see it a little differently. Like this person does care about me, but they're going through something right now. Let me see what I can do to help them. But the best thing I can do is get myself out of the way. I'm going to step out the way. If you need me, I'm here. This is for friends and family. If you are some person that think you somebody that needs to do harm to me, I'm gonna step out of the way. And I have great protection around me. So I don't worry about those things too much. I'm a firm believer in the Lord and in the word and God. You're gonna keep me safe from a lot of stuff. And I have family that, they talk to me, they have wisdom. The wisdom and knowledge you get helps you make better decisions. So make better decisions for yourself, value yourself, and set boundaries of integrity for yourself to follow. Be that example. Thank you all for watching and listening. All of you who are on my Speaking with D Live. Look, I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I am on the book, which is Facebook, Speaking with D. Follow me. Give me your opinions. Ask your questions.
I see you, baby.
For now, this is me, Miss D Sutton, Speaking with D, right here on IntellectualRadio.com. This is the Quintessential Queens podcast. We're here every Sunday at 3. Rhea Ray Harris will be sitting in this seat next week. Please tune in. Thank you for watching.
The east side, the west side.